In the heart of America's rugged Midwest, where endless fields whisper secrets to the wind and families cling to traditions like lifelines, one woman's betrayal sparked a revolution of love, revenge, and unbreakable spirit. Imagine being discarded like yesterday's news, only to rise from the ashes with a miracle in your arms. Subscribe now to unlock more tales of triumph that echo across the Atlantic, from the bustling streets of London to the vast prairies of Texas, because stories like this don't just entertain, they inspire you to fight for your own destiny. Alara Thompson had always been the black sheep of her affluent family, the one whispered about in hushed tones at holiday gatherings in their sprawling estate in rural Kansas. Born into wealth from generations of land barons, she was the youngest of 5 siblings, all sharp-elbowed and ambitious, clawing for their piece of the inheritance pie. But Alara, she was different, quiet, bookish, with a gentle soul that preferred the company of wildflowers over boardrooms. At 28, her world shattered when doctors delivered the verdict: infertility, a cruel twist of fate from a rare genetic condition. Her family, ever the pragmatists, saw it as a flaw, a dead end in their lineage-obsessed dynasty. Useless, her mother sneered once, not quite under her breath. Her brothers laughed it off, but the sting lingered like a bad harvest. The joke started innocently enough, or so they claimed. Old Man Harlan, the grizzled rancher from the neighboring spread, was a local legend, widowed, wealthy in his own right from oil strikes beneath his cattle lands, but notoriously reclusive and rough around the edges. At 45, he was the butt of town jokes. Harlan's got more cows than conversation, they'd say. When the Thompsons hosted their annual summer barbecue, fueled by too much bourbon and family rivalry, Alara's eldest brother, Marcus, hatched the plan. Why not send Alara over to Harlan's ranch? Tell him she's our gift, to help with the chores. It'll be hilarious. She's infertile, so no worries about any little accidents. The family roared with laughter, their cruelty masked as camaraderie. Alara, overhearing from the kitchen, felt her cheeks burn, but she said nothing. Pride was her only armor. The next morning, they bundled her off with a suitcase and a mocking note. "Dear Harlan, here's our spare daughter to tend your fields. She's good for nothing else." Alara arrived at the ranch gates under a scorching sun, her heart pounding like a trapped bird. Harlan, tall and weathered with piercing blue eyes that seemed to see through souls, read the note without a flicker. "Joke's on them," he muttered, crumpling it. "Come in, miss. Name's Harlan. You don't have to stay if you don't want." But Alara, fueled by a spark of defiance, chose to. Why run back to those vipers? Here, amid the rolling hills and lowing cattle, she found solace. Harlan was no brute. He was a man scarred by loss, his wife an unborn child taken in a tragic accident years ago. He taught her to ride horses, mend fences, and read the stars. In return, she brought light to his shadowed home, cooking meals that warmed more than bellies and sharing stories from her books that made him laugh for the first time in decades. Days blurred into weeks, and something unexpected bloomed. Harlan's gruff exterior cracked, revealing a poet's heart. One stormy night, as thunder rattled the ranch house, they shared secrets by the fire. "I never thought I'd feel again," he confessed, his hand brushing hers. Alara, who had resigned herself to a loveless life, felt a pull she couldn't deny. Their first kiss was tentative, like testing fragile ice, but it ignited a passion neither expected. Love grew fierce and fast, a whirlwind in the quiet vastness. But twists lurked in the shadows. Unbeknownst to Alara, Harlan harbored a secret. Years ago, he'd discovered an ancient spring on his land, fed by underground minerals locals swore had healing properties. Skeptical at first, he'd tested it on his ailing livestock, watching miracles unfold, sick calves bounding with health. He never spoke of it, fearing exploitation. As months passed, Alara noticed changes. Her body, once a barren vessel, stirred with life. Nausea in the mornings, a subtle swell. Impossible, the doctors had said. But the spring water she'd drunk daily, pure and untouched, worked its quiet magic. When she confided in Harlan, his eyes widened. The spring, it must be. Joy mingled with fear. What if her family found out? They did, of course. Marcus, spying from afar, saw her growing belly and reported back. The Thompsons descended like locusts, demanding she return. "That's our heir," her mother screeched, eyes on the potential fortune. But Alara stood firm. Harlan at her side. This child is mine, ours. You sent me away as a joke, now watch me thrive. The twist deepened when Alara uncovered a hidden letter in Harlan's attic, proof that her family's land was tainted by old debts owed to Harlan's forebears. Her exile wasn't just a prank, it was a ploy to marry her off cheaply, securing alliances. Rage fueled her. With Harlan's help, she confronted them at the estate, belly proud and papers in hand. You discarded me, but I found gold in the dirt. The family splintered, brothers turned on each other, the empire crumbling under lawsuits. Alara gave birth to a healthy boy, naming him Thorn for the thorns that guarded their rosé. Yet another turn. Thorn wasn't ordinary. As he grew, whispers spread of his uncanny gifts, predicting storms, healing sick animals with a touch. The spring's legacy, or something more. Alara and Harlan built a new life, turning the ranch into a sanctuary for the overlooked, drawing wanderers from across the states and even the UK, where tales of the Miracle Ranch crossed oceans. But shadows lingered. A jealous sibling plotted revenge, sabotaging the spring. In a climactic storm, Alara raced to save it, Harlan fighting off intruders. Victory came at a cost, Harlan wounded, but alive. As dawn broke, Alara held her family close, knowing twists forged strength. Years later, Thorn stood tall, inheriting not just land but a legend. Alara, once the infertile daughter, became a matriarch, her story a beacon, from jest to jewel, betrayal to bliss. In the end, the joke was on them, she returned not broken, but unbreakable, with a child who changed everything. And so, in the vast American heartland, where winds carry echoes of resilience, Alara's tale reminds us, what others discard, fate can transform into treasure.